Hey guys, this is Nick from BBNJ Studios. Here's another quick 5-minute tutorial on how to achieve a clean full body sound and spacing instrumentation in the frequency spectrum. Part 1, about the frequency spectrum. The frequency spectrum allows us to visualize the hertz, kilohertz of the output or instrument to allow for it to have its own tonal space in the frequency spectrum. This allows us to layer many instruments and textures into a mix without overpowering or drowning any elements. According to the Collins Dictionary, a full range device is any audio device capable of capturing, reproducing or processing the full audio frequency spectrum of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The frequency spectrum of an electrical signal is a distribution of the amplitudes and phases of each frequency component against frequency. We categorize these frequencies from low to mid to high, or into these 7 categories. Sub-bass, 20 to 60 Hz. Bass, 60 to 250 Hz. Low mid-range, 250 to 500 Hz. Mid-range, 500 Hz to 2 kHz. And presence, 4 kHz to 6 kHz. Brilliance, 6 kHz to 20 kHz. Identifying a cleaner mix. Here's the groove we'll be working with. As you can see, the hi-hats are taking up a fair bit of room in the frequency spectrum. Let's just put a high-pass filter over these to cut out the unwanted noise. Now let's have a listen. Moving on to the snare, as you can see we have a lot of unwanted frequencies in the low mid area. Add a high-pass filter to this and boost the frequencies around 1K just to add a bit of punch. Now let's have a listen. There's a lot of different ways to EQ kicks, but the most basic way is to cut out the lower frequencies to allow the sub-bass to come through, and then boost the frequencies around 1K to have the punchiness and clickiness of the kick. Now let's have a listen. Moving on to the bass, we can put a low-pass filter to cut out the high frequencies as they're not needed, and just boost that sub-bass a little bit just to allow it to work well with the kick. Now let's have a listen. Last but not least, we have the chords. We're just going to remove some of the lower frequencies there to allow the kick and the bass to punch through nicely, as well as boosting the mid frequencies and a little bit on the higher end just to hear a bit more colour in the sound. Now let's have a listen. Now, let's have a listen to the full mix before and after EQ. Don't worry if you can't hear much of a difference between the muddy mix and the clean mix. It takes years to train your ears to be able to hear this. In order to keep practicing, just keep spacing out your instruments in the spectrum and you'll already start seeing a cleaner mix. From then on, your ears will only get better and better at hearing it. This is another video from BBNJ Studios. Thanks for watching.